Let's go to then. During the final presidential debate, 2020, I believe it was the final debate, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to it. Could have been one of the 19. Former Vice President Biden, he said, and when I say in no uncertain terms, just I ask that you say, well, hold on a second, be skeptical of me, and then listen to him say it word for word. He said he was going to shut down the fossil fuel industry. 2020.
I have one final question.
Would he close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the oil
falls.
industry?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I will
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a big
because
statement.
I would stop.
Why would you do that?
Because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal.
Oh.
But
That's
you
a big
can't do that.
statement.
Well, if you let me finish the
From a
statement.
big man.
Because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time. Over time. And I'd stop giving to the oil industry, I'd stop giving them federal subsidies.
And I think we also have that clip of him talking to someone on the campaign trail. Remember, saying, yes, I'm going to put an end to the fossil fuel industry. So he reiterated it several times. So that's him back then.
Just to be clear.
Oh, that's a big statement. Don't you love that?
I know.
Oh, that's a big statement. That's a big statement. That's really big.
Wow.
It's pollution. So where are you going to get oil from? Oh, countries that really don't care about pollution at all.
Yeah.
Nailed it, because
Yeah.
that brings us to now. Thanks for the layup, Dave. Former Vice President is literally threatening Saudi Arabia for, what? Cutting oil production.
What's your reaction to the OPEC funds?
Disappointment, and we're looking at what alternatives we may have. There's a lot of alternatives. We haven't made up our mind yet. Sure. And I am in the process when this House and Senate gets back. They're going to have to. There's going to be some consequences for what they've done with Russia.
What kind of consequences? Menendez says suspend all arms sales. Is that something you'd consider?
I'm not going to get into what I'd consider and what I have in mind, but there will be consequences.
I'll tell you what he has in mind.
Ice cream.
That's it.
He answers every question like a movie cop that doesn't want to tell you there's a serial killer on the loose.
Right, exactly.
Where he's just like, no, look, we don't have any information at this time. We can neither confirm nor deny that's happening.
Lock your windows and stay inside. Why? I can't tell you that. There's no reason to be alarmed.
Yes, there's nothing to see here. No trouble at all.
No trouble at all.
It's exactly when you should panic.
What about Venezuela? He's just like, I've never even heard of it.
Well, let's think about this for a second. He's mad now. He wanted to transition away from fossil fuels. Now he's mad that Saudi Arabia is cutting oil production, right? And we're talking about alternatives. So right away, we already know an alternative to American oil production was Saudi Arabia.
Right.
We would never need, if we just actually accessed our own energy. Maybe it's Venezuela. You think they have the same environmental standards that we do here in the United States, folks? What about China and coal? We can be this is something we don't think about. We can be a net exporter of energy. What about these other countries that are using dirtier forms of energy, like China with coal, other countries that are extracting oil, basically using archaic methods? We could help them improve their drilling practices, their energy practices, to make them more eco-friendly. But we can't do it because we're dependent on their energy to get to us. So this is also just proof positive. It's about the midterms. He does not care about you, the United States of America. He wants to appeal to his base in a general. Say, I'm going to shut down the fossil fuel industry. He knows full well that'll hurt you. Then going into the midterms, well, let me alleviate the pain for the average American who I don't care about any other time of the year. Punt it until after the midterms, and then we'll come right back to square one. You don't matter.